shed some light on this story. Like I said earlier in the show, this week was a huge week in sports. You had the Euros, you had the NBA Finals, you had Wimbledon. There was a lot of shit going on. And unfortunately, I love sports, and I think sports can bring together so many people and so many things. But unfortunately, this is a story of how sports can really divide communities as well. Marcus Rashford in the Euros. So basically what happened here was obviously not obviously, but like if you guys didn't know, England lost the Euros on Sunday to Italy in penalties. And there were 3 players that missed penalty kicks. And 3 of those players happened to be black. Their names are, I have them right here. I think it's important we talk about all of them. Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka. All 3 of these players play for the English national team, and they all missed their penalty kicks, unfortunately, in during the latter stages of the game. And unfortunately, they're being racistly attacked online and in DMs, and it's even gone as far as to defacing murals of these that are painted of these guys in various communities, and basically writing racial slurs on those murals, amongst other things. And I just want to talk about how this is just completely inappropriate. I mean, this is absolutely fucking ridiculous that we're still at the stage where we have to worry about black players being attacked after a loss. Like, really? Like, it's like leave. This has always been my thing with sports. Is like, I get it. I get angry sports fans because I am one at times, right? I get mad, I get pissed, but leave the personal lives out of it. When it comes to the game, just talk about the game. Don't talk about the lives. You could say Marcus Rashford's a fucking horrible soccer player. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. May bother him. I don't know. But you can't be like, you can't use racial slurs when it comes to these guys. And it's just completely inappropriate. I mean, I'm at a loss of words because at the same time, like, I get where these sports fans in the heat of the moment are just pissed, but that gives you no right to like deface a mural or post the shit that you've said online or DM these players horrible things. Like, no, that's awful. And 100% just horrible actions. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Marcus Rashford real quick. Marcus Rashford had actually been responsible in England to direct a movement to reverse the ending. So they were going to end the free lunch program in England, but he directed a movement to basically reverse that, and he was successful. And this was all during COVID. So he's actually a guy who's doing really good work in the communities to protect people and to help people. And this is the way you treat him, England? Like, that's fucking pathetic. I mean, my main takeaway from this whole situation is that is the UK more behind in the race conversation than America, or are we all just collectively behind? That's the question I'm left with. And honestly, I don't have an answer. Like, here's my answer is that I think we're all collectively behind. I think this is just a first world country thing where we're like, what the fuck? What is, like, we're just trying to, like, you just have to keep going back to your roots. And the fact is, America was built off slavery. And the United Kingdom was also had the slave trade for a very long time, probably arguably just as long, if not longer, than the United States. Maybe earlier, because they did legalize slavery earlier than the United States, but it was present for a longer period of time, and the racism in England is really, really, really present, and it's been present for a lot of different minorities in England, as we have seen in the last few years or so. But that being said, this is it's an awful piece of news to talk about. But I mean, I would just like to say that I hope that there's a bright side to events like these, and that it can start conversations, and that it can maybe go away. I obviously that's a very naive point of view to have, because I feel like these are issues that are going to continue to be present within our society and all of this stuff. So, all I can say is I just hope we just continue to educate ourselves. We continue to, realize that what we're doing is impacting people everywhere, and we can, move on from this with a greater understanding. And the thing I want to say real quick before I get into my last topic real fast is sports is supposed to be a unifier. There are very few unifiers in this world, and sports is one of those things, which is why I advocate for it so much, because it brings people together. It doesn't matter what class, what race, what color, what creed you are. It's a sport and it's a game where we can all play together. And when you hit the field, everybody is equalized. Everyone has the same access to the same resources, and it's just about playing the game. And that's what's beautiful about sports. And unfortunately, in this instance, sports wasn't equally treating its athletes well, and the fans were not treating their athletes well. So that sucks to hear.